I'm going to show you why you cannot save your way to retirement. It's nearly impossible. And I'm going to prove this to you with some data that's been published just recently. And it's going to blow your mind. I mean, most people think they have this big plan to save to get to retirement, and it just doesn't work. Now, for some of you might feel deflated in the moment, but don't worry. At the very end, I'm going to show you how you can still get to that desirable retirement plan, but it's just not maybe going to be the way that you thought it was going to happen. So let me break down to you why you cannot save your way to retirement. And this goes into two components. And this information comes from a recent study back in January from the U.S. Census Bureau. And here's what it comes down to. About 47% of men and 50% of women have nothing saved up for retirement. It just doesn't happen. Now you say, why is that? Why is it that people can't save money? And the answer is probably just life happens. If you think about it, we have so many things that come at us that, take our unexpected attention from our savings retirement accounts. It could be cars break down. It could be kids go to college. It could be medical bills we didn't expect. Sometimes, quite honestly, it's because as human beings, we have this immediate need for gratification. So we buy fancy cars and do things we shouldn't have. In fact, most of America lives above their means, which means they're spending more than they actually make. So there's no way to save for retirement. It's just, we as human beings and human nature is we just don't save. But let's set that aside for a moment. Let's say that you are the saver. You say, okay, I'm going to save my way there. Okay, well, look at that for a moment. This is why it doesn't even matter whether that number of people that have retirement now is 50% or 75 or 60 is irrelevant. You are in the camp where you have savings or you're in the camp where you don't. And even if you're in the camp where you do have savings, I'm going to prove to you again that it actually is nearly impossible to save for retirement. So if you break it down to the people who have savings for retirement, again, the average in America is about $120,000 in savings for retirement. And that's for people who are starting to approach that retirement age, 55 to 64. And let's break down that 120,000. Now, again, some of you might say, well, I don't even have 120,000. Well, then this is bad news. And some of you say, well, I've got over 120,000. I've got 240, 300,000. Doesn't matter. I'm going to prove to you why that doesn't work. Here's what happens. If you think about this, the average Social Security is only about $1,500 per year. Let's suppose you had the average of 120,000. Okay? The problem is, you don't know how long you need to live on that $120,000. You hit retirement. Let's say you want to retire at age 60 or let's say even 65. Let's give yourself 10 more years, right? And you don't even know what to predict out, right? Most of the time. We don't know how much longer that's going to be. Maybe it's 20 years, 30 years, but let's say it's 10 years. If you've got $120,000 to last over 10 years, right? That's $12,000 a year, right? 12,000 times 10 is 120. So you have 12,000. That's $1,000 a month. So if you take the average Social Security of $1,500 plus $1,000 from your retirement, you've now got $2,500 a month. Now, first of all, that on its own, you pretty much can't live probably the retirement you desired off $2,500 a month if you count living expenses, medical, food, whatever else might be. And here comes the challenge. What happens after those 10 years run out? Right? After 10 years, now you're down to $1,500. So you can't possibly save. And you say, well, I've got $240,000. Okay, well, then you have two options. One, you live for 10 years on maybe $3,500 a month. Maybe that meets what you're looking for. But after those 10 years, you're out. Or maybe you're planning to go 20 years. Now live for 20 more years. Now you're back down to that $2,500 a month to live on. So the point is, you don't actually know how much to save because you don't know how long you're going to live. And once you spend that retirement fund, it's gone. There goes your retirement. You're at an end. The other challenge is you don't know what costs are going to be when you hit 55 or 65 if you're in a younger generation. If you're in that age now, it's going to be very hard to save up more than what you had planned for. So that's why you cannot save your way to retirement. It's nearly impossible. There are exceptions. Some people make lots of money and have saved up millions and millions. So I'm not saying everybody, but generally speaking, it's nearly impossible. So how do you get there? You're thinking, Keith, this is all interesting information and kind of scary, but what do I do then? The secret to get to retirement, which is going to help you survive retirement no matter how long that retirement period goes for, is going to be rental real estate. Now, let me break that down and don't panic. I'm going to explain to you why that is. What you need to have a enjoyable or desirable retirement is to have a consistent cash flow. You need money coming in on a regular basis that you can depend on. Now, unlike having a savings account that you drain from, when you have rental real estate, you actually have cash flow coming in on a regular basis that you can live off of, and that number becomes fixed or can continue to grow if you continue to invest so that you can keep enjoying those retirement benefits, that cash flow coming in to enjoy life. Now, I'm not talking yes, you can have regular rental real estate, and that's what a lot of people do. But unfortunately, a lot of people get into rental real estate are doing it wrong. The average real estate investor, if they have a mortgage on a property, might only make about $300 to $400 a month. So you think to yourself, wow, I'd have to have a lot of properties in order to have the cash flow I need to retire. And on top of it, you might think that's a lot of headaches to have to manage. Well, there are higher income producing asset models for rental real estate. Two of the big ones right now are short-term rental and shared housing. Either one of these models can produce as much as $1,000 to $2,000 a month of passive cash flow per property. And that assumes that you have a mortgage on it. If you don't have a mortgage, you have it paid off, obviously you can get a bit more, but you want to set a structure so that you have enough passive income coming in on a regular basis to support the lifestyle that you want. And you could predefine that. You could say, hey, I want $4,000 a month. I want $6,000 a month. Then you simply figure out how many of these higher income producing models do I need to have. Now, the models that I'm describing can all be done passively, meaning you can have management companies that run them. Here's what we're seeing. In a property where someone might normally only get $300 to $400 a month cash flow, that same property could be $1,000 to $2,000 a month for that same property. So think about that. If I want $4,000 a month, I need between 2 to 4 properties. And again, this is going to be based on your plan and where you want to be. Now, if you're younger, you have more time to build to those 4. If you're a bit older and getting close to retirement or in retirement, you got to be a little more aggressive on how you acquire those. Now, you might be saying, Keith, this is all great, but I don't have any capital or credit to be able to invest in real estate. You actually don't need capital or credit. There are models out there, and you can learn more about them at the end here. I'll give you a free training on how you can learn how to acquire real estate without using your capital or credit. But of course, if you have capital and credit, you can get there even faster because you can expedite the speed at which you acquire real estate and expand the number of properties you can get. But I guarantee you, you can acquire a portfolio of 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 properties without using any of your own capital or credit. We do it all the time. So when you think about your retirement and what you want to get to that retirement, figure out what you want as that baseline. Like, is it 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7, 8, 9, whatever, 10,000, 20, I don't care what the number is, but figure out that number. And then you can work backwards to say how many of these high income producing assets, again, I'm recommending either short-term rentals or a shared housing models that are out there that produce significantly high cash flow. And the reason I like those over commercial properties is because it's much easier to acquire real estate without using your capital or credit when you get into the residential real estate space. So now, if you think about acquiring these real estate properties, having the right models behind them so they're passive, you control your own destiny. You control your own direction. I'm not saying you still shouldn't save money. It's always good to save because the more that you save, the more properties you can acquire. And I'll show you how to get other people to pay for everything you want in life through real estate. And your retirement is just one of them. So at the very end, you'll see some other videos. But even more importantly, I'm going to give you this bonus. So go ahead and click on the link down below right here if you want to learn how to start investing in real estate into these higher income producing assets, either with or without using your credit, because that is going to become the game changer to helping you reach that desired retirement that you've been dreaming about for either years or decades, or maybe it's just months and you're just finally realizing now what it is you want to do. So go ahead and click on the link below here to get access to this training that I'm giving to you as a bonus for free so that you can learn how to build those pathways to your desired retirement through leveraging real estate. Again, you don't need to have capital, you don't need to have credit, but you do need to get started. You got to learn how to do it. Most people in America are reaching that retirement age and feeling stuck and not knowing what to do or how to get life to work around them, even just get by, yet less enjoy the travel and the relaxation that they had envisioned. So check out the free training. You're going to absolutely love it. And I assure you that this is a solution that you can implement starting right now today, no matter where you're at in your life. So I can't wait to see you inside this training.